Yo, what's up YouTube? So today is Thursday, October 27th, 2022, and we finally have the Cutlass here in the garage.
We're gonna record everything.
Oh, okay. Oh, that you working
That
on?
I'm working on it, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So from now, I'm picking it up right here to it coming back here, dropping.
So, quick background, this Cutlass here was actually owned by my dad, and the car that he worked on, painted himself, and that later was entrusted to me. However, me not knowing too much about cars, but also not necessarily taking the time out to, one, care for this car and keep it up running and keep, normal maintenance on the car. This car has been sitting for, I want to say, over 20 years.
So me and people were talking about that when he was just out here, and he talking about when he dropped it off, it was already running and ready to go. All I had to do was just take care of it, but I don't remember that though.
Probably at most like 25 years or so like 20 to 25 years, like this car has been sitting. Now that I'm of age, I'm an adult, I kind of wanted to take this car and make it my project to get it and rebuild it and restore it to its glory days, and kind of make it one the Sunday driver car that you see when all the old schools come out. Make that for myself, but then also make it get the car to a point where it can be passed down to my son and then to his son, and hopefully allowing this car to be a family heirloom. So that's the overall plan. But the process of actually getting this car here to this point was, one, very exhausting. So this car has been sitting, like I mentioned beforehand, for 20 plus years outside in the weather at my grandma's house. And yeah, so initially when going to pick up this car, I thought it was gonna be something quick and easy that either I could push and roll up onto the trailer and just be in and out. But come to find out that that wasn't the plan or the case at all. For the most part, some of these wheels rolled, some didn't. Some of the tires were flat, or for the most part, all were flat, some were blown out. Some of the tires could hold air and some couldn't. So that was a process in all that we'll get to more later. But as far as actually getting the car onto the bed of the trailer, from some of these clips, you can actually see that we actually had to use a bobcat and actually lift the car from the ground onto the bed of the trailer. Now, it may seem that using the bobcat to be able to lift this car and put it on the bed of the trailer may have been the easiest, quickest way to do it, but as you can see from some of these clips and pictures, that this car is fucking heavy. Like, at one point, the car literally almost flipped the bobcat. Now, that may be due to user error and my uncle's not actually physically having the arms of the bobcat all the way under the car to counterbalance the weight of the car and the bobcat. But with a little engineering and finesse, we actually got the car up onto the bed of the trailer, and I was able to actually transport the car here to Atlanta. Now, as far as getting the car off the trailer into the car or into the garage, that was a whole nother ordeal in itself. In short, what I ended up having to do was actually pulling the car out the trailer with the dually truck, and then once the car was actually onto the ground, we kind of just pushed the car into the garage. And the main reason for actually having to pull the car out the garage or push the car into the garage was because, one, this car is damn heavy, like we mentioned beforehand. But two, also it's somewhat of an incline and these brakes don't work. So yeah, I needed some assistance to actually get that up and going. And yeah, that's kind of what we did with that. Now, initially the plan was to actually just park the trailer into the near the garage and let the car just roll on down. But that didn't really go as planned, so of course we had to make, you know, adjustments and maneuvers to actually get the car working, so, or moved. So yeah, that's kind of the plan. The idea for the car is, hey, how you doing? So the plan for the car now is to, again, like I mentioned, to actually restore and rebuild the car completely. Now, have I ever done something like this? No. Do I know how to do an engine swap? No. Do I know how to weld? No. Do I understand, you know, minimum car maintenance, like changing brakes, tires, oil? Yes, of course. But of course, a project like this is definitely one that is, you would say, beyond my skill set. But I'm also one who is that once I focus in on something and attempt to try, or if I have the desire to do something and I'm laser focused on it, I can pretty much, for the most part, do anything. You know, that's how I got myself through college. But I definitely know that I need help with this, so I'm not afraid to, you know, either outsource the work or ask someone who actually knows to, you know, come and show me, whether that's a friend or an uncle or whoever it may be, to come out and assist. Or I don't mind, you know, spending countless of hours here on YouTube University, learning what I need to do to be able to bring this car back to life. So yeah, I know you guys have a lot of questions on what year this car is, what type of, you know, build on the engine that I'm doing, what do I plan to have for the interior. But of course, I'll get to all these questions as we continue to actually roll out these videos. But kind of just wanted to get this first video out. You know, if you guys catch this video and you do have any advice on, you know, sourcing parts, or, you know, ideas to how to actually make this job easier, or yeah, if you want to share your experience with doing a rebuild on the G-body, yeah, let me know down in the comments. But yeah, more videos to come shortly.